Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle is coming our way on August 29th, and I recently got to play a few hours at an event held by Ubisoft. Hello everybody, Gabe from Switchforce here, and I have Jake.
Yes.
And today we're going to go over 10 new things we are excited about in Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Now that we've played a decent amount of it, we have got into all kinds of trouble with the Rabbids, and we're going to go over 10 things. I'm going to get us started here today with number 1, AI behavior, Jake. Alright, so one of the complaints that people had about the game was that it was a little easy. The AI wasn't all that difficult to deal with, and we'll get into the difficulty a little bit later in the video, but just wanted to throw some things out here. The AI, a little bit smarter this time in the later worlds than I had previously experienced, and then you had previously experienced during the demo at E3. There are different enemy types, we already knew that, but there's a bunch more now, and they definitely stepped it up as far as their AI. In the Spooky Trail world, the booze-centered world, the Halloween-themed world, even during one of the battles we had a quadruple? How do you call 4 boos? Is that a
quartet?
A quartet, that's the word I was looking for, regardless. So we had like 4 boos just like randomly like shifting around, and if one of them, gets you, they can like move you and do some damage to you in unforeseen ways. You definitely do not want to get caught by the boos. So the AI behavior, in my opinion, has been like drastically improved. And again, we'll get into more enemy types and difficulty in another section here, but I'm really impressed with what they've done as far as making it just a little bit harder. But I think that can take us to number 2, since we've kind of already started talking about that one a little bit.
Talked about the Spooky Trail world. So number 2 is that they have different worlds, and this is like a totally new world and a totally new way that you can interact with it. Like you said, it does even have different characters like from the Nintendo world, like Boos, that can come in and mess up your battle plans. And I saw, you played it, but I saw some of the footage, and the world looks completely different. It's very well themed, like Nintendo usually does, and this time it's Ubisoft doing all the work, but they stuck with that and made it look really cool, like a Mario. If the Mushroom Kingdom was holding a Halloween festival, this is how it would look. So it's very cool, and like you said, it does up the difficulty in the new world and bring in some new enemy types.
Just to point out one thing here, that is the third world of 4. There are like 4 like distinct separate worlds, and the cool thing about it is, like you said, super well themed. And even during some of like the battles, like you see some of the Rabbids have like Halloween costumes on, like they'll have like a pumpkin on their head, or they'll be wearing like a knight's armor, like really cool stuff like that. So they did a great job thematically with the world. I can't wait to see what the rest of the worlds are. So far we've seen 2, the beginning areas, and we've now seen Boo's world. So we've seen the first and the third, we have the second and the fourth to go, and if they can like keep this going like just thematically, I think that would be super cool.
I'm feeling like maybe like a beach one could be a good one if they're going like nighttime spooky. Like the intro one is kind of sort of like generic Mushroom Kingdom, like grassy hill almost, and then or green zone, and then what could they have, like beach? And then maybe like
sand. Sand is another one, a desert type.
Oh yeah, maybe they don't have beach, they just have sand. They take all the goodness out of the beach with the waves and the trees, and they just put sand, the desert. I don't know. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the final world is.
Yeah, and that's something I'm like really, really excited for. 4 doesn't sound like a lot, but the area is like a decent size, and the battles do take a significant amount of time sometimes. Like we've heard that some of the boss battles can go up to like 45 minutes, and trust me, that is true. Different worlds, that's number 2. Number 3, challenge does increase. These first 3, they're kind of coming in hand a little bit here. Since I did play the Spooky Trails, we were able to see what the third world is like, at least a portion of the third world. We didn't even play the entire thing. So, like I said, the difficulty does like get a nice little bump up. We've seen enemies with like giant stone shields in front of them that you have to like attack from behind, and there's enemies that just like rush and attack you as soon as you attack them. So like they do start to mix things up. The enemy AI does seem to be more difficult. Like the moveset is like way more intricate. So you're gonna want to like get the most out of your turns that you possibly can in order to get that like perfect score at the end of each of these rounds. So I think we can safely say, wow, this isn't gonna be like a super difficult like experience. Like this isn't Dark Souls obviously, but it's not as easy as like it seemed in the early demos, and that was like our first like big concern. Like, hey, this is cool, but like it's like really easy, and I'm happy to say that they really did step it up. I even saw some people like dying, like, you know, people that were like sitting next to me. I'm not just saying this is true. I never died.
Gabe, you're a Rabbids master.
No, by no means.
Bunny.
Yeah, no, I never died, but there was other people dying, so you know. There's a good challenge there.
Well, and it sounds like, from what you're saying, is it's not that they're just throwing more HP on enemies. They're kind of making you learn how to play the game and how to use team jumps and movements and things like that to work around different types of enemies. Like you said, where you have to hit them from the back, or they'll rush at you, so you have to use more cover. So stuff like that. So instead of just stacking more HP or throwing more guys at you, that they're kind of teaching you the mechanics in the beginning and letting you explore and figure out your own way of defeating the easier enemies, and then later on they're throwing enemies that force you to play in specific ways, which I think is cool.
Yeah, and you know, one of the last things I noticed about, just as far as like challenge, right? Like the actual stages themselves get bigger as you go. You know,
like the battlefields.
It makes sense when you first, you know, the demo that we, you know, we played back at E3 in the beginning of the game. It makes sense. You have a small battlefield, you have some cover, maybe a pipe here or whatever, just to get to like a different section, but that's it. But you know, once you're to like the third world, there's like two or three different pipes that like lead you to like different sections. Like you could be like there's some like small verticality to it. Like you could be like on the level like right above them, and to like flank them, things like that. Like the area gets like much bigger, and that much more difficult to like traverse, because there's enemies like pretty much everywhere. So yeah, definitely a good step up. But I think that is enough for challenge. Like I said, rest assured it does get more difficult. I'm pretty happy with the overall difficulty here. Take us to number 4, Jake.
So number 4, we have a ton of Nintendo references. Now, we've already seen obviously the Mario, Peach, Yoshi, and Luigi Rabbids, and we've seen the mini boss of the Rabbid plant, which is like a piranha plant mixed with a rabbit, and we've seen the later boss of the Donkey Kong mixed with a rabbit. But be rest assured that throughout the rest of the game, there is a ton of awesome Nintendo crossovers and Nintendo references for all fans of Nintendo. And you were even saying that it's not even just Mario, it's like an extension out to more Nintendo games.
Yeah, like, this isn't a Mario-only references. Like, there will be references to different games that aren't like Mario specific, and you know, I don't want to talk about anymore. There's a lot of surprises here that I think would genuinely like delight fans. This, you know, just to talk about the ones that we can talk about without spoiling, you'll see here in the footage, there's like like what seems like a like passed out like chain chomp, or I mean, I hate to even use the word, but like a dead chain chomp or something. Like there's this giant like ball there, like and there's just cool little things like a chain chomp made out of a pumpkin, just small little tidbits. During the battle, we saw the booze. And I can confidently tell you that there are other references to other things that we're not going to spoil, because I really believe that they will be really cool surprises. But Nintendo fans will be surprised, trust me.
And delighted.
Yes.
I'm just excited to see. I still love Spawny, and I want to see what other crazy crossovers he makes.
Oh man. There's some very cool stuff coming. Speaking of cool stuff, though, that brings us to number 5, the puzzles. I wanted to talk about this one puzzle specifically. In the spooky trail, there's this cannon that shoots you into like an optional puzzle. It's a blue room with blue coins in them, and the puzzle itself isn't very difficult at all. All you have to do is put a statue on top of a colored pillar. That pillar lowers a section for you to go in there and get that blue coin, but then you have to move that statue to a different pillar to continue moving. But at the end, though, you have to get through back to like the other corner of the room, and like it's time based, and you have such a limited amount of time. Your movement has to be so precise. You have to be very quick. I actually failed like 4 times. Like, luckily, failing doesn't. There's no like big penalty. You just go right back out to the cannon. You can shoot right back into the room. But I kid you not, there was 4 people watching me do this. And they were genuinely happy when I did it. A couple of developers, like, they came and they saw that I found the room, and they were just like looking on, and you know, someone called someone else over there, like, look, he's so close, but he hasn't like been able to get it. And the puzzles, they do lead to reward. At the end of this puzzle, you got a cool new weapon that I like instantly equipped just because I worked so hard to get it.
Right.
And so the cool, very like optional puzzles, like I liked it. I had a really fun time trying to do it, even though it was like an obvious puzzle. It was more about timing instead of like brain power. But one of the other puzzles that we did see had you transferring light from like mirror to mirror. Like that's a traditional puzzle in some games, right? Zelda has done that a few times, but yeah, this one was a required puzzle to get to the next stage of the environment here. So the puzzle variety that we saw, while not vast, it was cool enough.
Yeah, and I like that they do kind of mix up the walking around looking for coins and collectibles in the world with these puzzles, and some of them are, like you said, a roadblock that you have to overcome in order to progress, and some of them are optional where it shoots you off into these blue rooms and you can do things to get extra collectibles or extra weapons. And it's good to hear that they're kind of scaling up in difficulty as well as the battle gameplay. And it's cool because it sure shows what Beepo, even though I'm still not too fond of that name, is kind of used more for in these puzzles where he's like carrying the statues around for you, because before we're like, why do we need this little cursor thing in front of you? But it's cool that he's like being used more in the puzzles and stuff. So I like that they're breaking up the walking around areas with these puzzles.
Yeah. So puzzles, they're A+ in my mind in this game. Like they're like fun and cool enough to where like adults can enjoy them. Plus like younger audiences, like they won't have trouble understanding. It's more about execution.
Right.
So that moves us on.
Number six is crazy insane boss battles. Like I said before, we've seen the Rabid Plant. You guys played that. We've seen the Donkey Kong battle, which has multiple phases to it, and like you said, some of the boss battles can last like anywhere from like a half an hour to an hour, and they have multiple phases, and they're jumping around and doing crazy things. So that's really cool that there is like these culminating set pieces in each world that you go to and have to spend a lot of time on and use all of your learned battle tactics against them. And they are not just giant rabbits, they're crossed over with Nintendo characters, which is amazing. So they're visually appealing, and they are gameplay-wise very challenging and different.
Yeah, and I hate to be coy here, but I truly want to preserve this surprise for everybody. There's this one boss battle I played that is going to have people absolutely smiling once they see it. It's going to be fantastic. I know everybody I talked to like really, really loved it, and they made it a point to say like, hey, Mario is in this game. Mario is known for like multi-stage boss battles, and they seem to have carried that over very well into Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. And you unfortunately can't show you footage of that battle, but man, oh man, I'm telling you, you guys are in for something really special with that one. So I want to move on from the boss battles here because I don't want to get too spoilery. So we'll move on to the hub world and collectibles. There is a hub world. We can't show it, but there is an area where you can go and view your collectibles, such as like trophies, music, like little statues that you find along the way. You can of course go and you can go into Battle HQ in other times, but you can also go into Battle HQ there, buy weapons, equip whatever you're going to want to do for whatever current mission or adventure you can embark on at that time. And the hub world is more just to showcase whatever collectibles you seem to find along the way. There seems to be a lot of them. I found at least like a dozen, like in the time that I was playing. A lot of the puzzles that you find that are optional will have a collectible behind that. You can also find them randomly in treasure chests, just by doing like small little actions, such as in the world you can also just take a statue and put it on a pillar that opens up a door, and there's a chest in there. You can just grab all types of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's cool that they have like the Battle HQ that you can pull up at any time throughout the game to do some quick equipping or customization, and then they have this larger hub world set up where you can go view your collectibles. Like you said, there's artwork and music and stuff as well. Like I'm sure it serves some other functions.
So yeah, that's the hub world and the collectibles. Jake, bring us to the 8th one. This is one of my favorite ones.
Right. This is one that I think might be the most shocking to me. And number 8 is co-op. And it's not just, jump in and you can jump into the story mode with your friend and play co-op with them. They have separate missions specifically for co-op. And I'll let Gabe go into the details because he's the one that played it, so he knows more. But I think it's really cool that they have a totally separate mission selection and setup for co-op, and it's not just jumping into the single player. That shows that they had some dedication to it, and it's going to be like specifically for 2 people to be playing it. Yeah,
so you do single Joy-Con. That's the way we played it. There's 18 stages total of co-op. They are varied in visuals, like so they will take like portions of the game. They use the same like assets and everything. It's not like a completely separate game,
right?
But they are like co-op specific scenarios that they make up. And the one that we completed, we just had to take out like a certain amount of enemies. I believe that the amount was 10, but since you are playing co-op, they do, you know, multiply the amount of enemies that come at you. And it's really cool because at any given time, like, we can like take turns, right? So let's say I'm using Mario and Rabbid Mario, and you're using Luigi and Rabbid Luigi, just for simplicity. I can like make a move and then like switch to you, and then you can make your move and then switch back to me. You can switch at any given time. Like, it's not like, oh, I have to make my 2 moves and then you make your 2 moves. We can like move around.
So each character is controlling 2 guys. So there's 4 guys on the battlefield instead of just the 3.
Yeah, correct.
Cool.
There's 4. Yeah, there's 4 at any given time, and that, of course, lends itself to more strategery. I know that isn't a word. I'm making it up. There's more strategery, and it's very cool. The second co-op mission that we played was actually difficult. One of my characters actually died in that one.
Oh, man, Gabe.
The positioning was just completely off, and I made a wrong move early on that had, I believe it was Rabbid Yoshi. I left him stranded somewhere with a bunch of enemies, and it didn't go well for him.
Oh, Gabe.
Yeah, but you know, there was good challenge, and it's good fun. Like, I didn't know the person that I was playing with very well, but I would imagine if it was like, you know, one of us playing with Zach or you know, any combination of the 3 of us, there's gonna be a lot of yelling and saying, "No, what are you doing?" Like, it's that type of game where like communication is so important, but also just like making a wrong move.
Well, yeah, and you were saying that you don't get them all right from the beginning. You have to progress through the single player in order to unlock the co-op mission. So perhaps later on they'll be more tied to the themes of the worlds that you are completing to unlock them, and they will increase in difficulty.
Oh, there's also like difficulty selection, right? So let's say we're gonna do like the 5th co-op challenge or whatever. There's like easy, normal, and hard. You have to unlock hard. That one isn't like unlocked by default, but you can like set the difficulty for these co-op challenges as well. So yeah, I think there's, while 18 doesn't sound like a whole lot, right? Like, you got to remember, some of these like take a little while to do. Like, they could take you like a good half hour, 45 minutes, like depending on how you're playing and what difficulty you're playing on. But Jake touched on this a little bit, but the co-op stuff you unlock as you go. Like, if you don't have a certain character unlocked, you can't use them in co-op yet until you unlock them in the single story, the single player story. So co-ops are a really good one.
Cool.
Right. Brings us to number 9. Speaking of playing stuff over and over, replayability. There's a decent amount of it here. After every battle, you get like almost a grade. It's not like an A, B, C grade, but there is a bar that you can. It grades you. It says, hey, you did a perfect run or you did good. Obviously, getting a perfect gets you the most amount of coins, and the fact that you probably want all those coins to buy more weapons is gonna have you want to replay these things over and over. I believe you get like 400 extra coins for getting a perfect, and from what I saw, perfect had to do with the amount of rounds that it took you to complete. So
you really want to get those giant chains going.
Yeah, so like it'll say, oh, it doesn't like tell you, but it says, you know, you did this in like 5 out of 6 rounds, so you get a perfect. Like, it gives you like a number that you can't pass. Once you pass the 6th round, you get decreased, and you get like a lesser. Yes, and with the replayability, I'll touch on this a little bit here. The difficulty, there is an easy mode that you can set, and once you hit easy mode for that battle, you can no longer get the perfect. That automatically reduces it, like the amount of coins you're going to get. So you are encouraged to go back, play the section over, and get that perfect score.
Well, and they said that there was going to be like over 200 weapons, so maybe you do want to go back and get more coins so you can unlock all the cool weapons, because they are incredibly unique and different, both visually and sort of the abilities that are attached to them.
Yeah, so I can definitely see myself replaying this, especially with the co-op. Like going and playing with a friend, and you know, beating it on normal and saying, okay, hey, let's try the hard mode now. You know, once you master that, like the hard mode is going to be like relatively difficult from what I can see. So a ton of replayability here maybe makes up for the fact that there isn't like a ton of worlds. Like I said, there's 4, and they are like longer, but replayability is very important here. That'll bring us to number 10.
Number 10 is the fact that Yoshi Regular Yoshi, not Rabbid Yoshi. Regular Yoshi is the last character that you unlock and joins your party. And they said that there's a specific reason for that because there's something that he can do during battle that makes him different and unique, and so you get him last. And I've been thinking about what the heck he could be. Maybe he's an extra character you can ride on. I know you can do team jumps, but maybe you can like ride on him and get farther. Or maybe he uses his tongue to like grab enemies and pull them to different spaces. Or I'm not sure exactly what it does, but they hinted that he has some special mechanic about him that makes him the last character that you get in your party.
Yeah, and you know, I debated whether to even include this because it's a little spoiler, but not really because we don't know what he's going to do. I don't think you're going to be able to write him. I don't know. I think writing is completely. I mean, because you're not controlling Mario, like you're controlling a little android Beepo. So like,
well, I mean, riding him during battle, like because you can do team jumps. So like maybe you can jump on Yoshi and he can take you like an extra space or something. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, they did say that they didn't want to spoil why. But Yoshi is the last playable character that you unlock. You even get Rabbid Yoshi before that, and that was a little surprising to me that you get like the Rabbid version of him before full-on Yoshi.
I was just gonna say that in the slides that were leaked from Ubisoft a while ago, they kind of gave each character a name, like Mario, the leader, Luigi, Rabbid, the unstable, regular Luigi, the eagle eye, and Yoshi is the explosive head. So maybe he just has tons of like area of effect damaging grenades or something, and so they wanted to save him for the end. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and it blew up like, and I was like in the cover, and like it blew up my cover. I mean, I should have known, but I hadn't played the game enough by that point. So yeah, who knows what Yoshi's gonna do? But the fact that he is last is interesting to say the least. And that's it. That is 10 new reasons why you should be excited about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle. The fact that I played like close to like 3 hours of it and I still want to play so much more is a testament to how fun I think this game is. I really think it's fun. I hope the full game is just keeps bringing on new things like this new section that I played. I'm excited to see what the last world is going to be. I'm excited to see more of these insane bosses, collect all these collectibles, and man, just a whole bunch of craziness. I feel like people have kind of made the turn on the game. And when it first got like leaked, people were saying like, "Hey, like that doesn't make no sense. Like people hate the Rabbids, we get it." But people are seeming to be positive on this, and it's almost here, a month away, just about. So Mario. Yeah,
I feel like the main thing that was my issue was the difficulty, and you said that ramps up, and then I'm super excited to see more crossovers and how Ubisoft kind of brings Nintendo into the game, so I'm excited for it as well, and I haven't even played more of it.
So August 29th, we have a few more Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battles videos going up today. We have a full co-op challenge up probably right now that you can go check out, as well as other stuff coming throughout the day and tomorrow as well. So let us know what you think in the comments below. What are your concerns about Mario plus Rabbids Kingdom Battle? Maybe I can answer some questions. And other than that, thank you for all your support. Thank you for watching. Hit that thumbs up if you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe. Maybe even hit that notification bell so that you get notified whenever we upload new videos so that you watch them because you like us and we like you. That has been it. This has been Jake. I am has been Gabe. Switch Force out.